Today's match is going to be a very, very, very long-ass match. So I would recommend pausing it, like right now, and getting like something to drink or something, because this match is going to be friggin' forever. I never thought the stupid thing was going to end. But today's match will be me and WCR versus What You're a Butt and Vivid. And once we get all situated here, I haven't done an audio for site in a long time. It's good to be doing some more audio for you guys. Nothing too crazy has happened that you guys really need to know, so sorry to disappoint you. Nothing crazy. Anyways, I take it you guys paused, unpaused, and gotten your drink and stuff like that, so we're going to unpause this replay. And we're going to get this started. So let's unpause this in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, unpause. So, here we go. They're dual undead, so that just screams out hero nuking from the beginning. So we're kind of prepared for that. Especially more of a control factor, and you'll actually see that going in there. Okay. What you're butt talking in his caps is nice and annoying caps. Gotta love it, guys. Got to love it. That guy like totally hates me too. Gotta love that too. Anyways, not talking about much here. So we just gotta wait for all our crap to get up. So when this started, we were kind of expecting a long game because they really play defensively. I mean, it just takes frickin' forever to get stuff accomplished. So we were preparing for it. As I was even thinking about getting some ancient protectors in my base and everything like that. So I'm getting a Keeper of the Grove while WCF is going to be working on a farce here. I could have gotten something like a warden and stuff like that. I mean, the reason why I could afford to get a warden or any other hero like that is, one, is because I can blink the hell out of the way of, like their sleep surrounds or stuff like that when it gets all messy later on in these battles. And I could also, we're gonna have hero nukes sooner or later in this game, especially in a game that's gonna take a long time to do, such as like a Naga Sea Witch. You're going to have a good level on that Naga Sea Witch in a game that's going to be lasting this long. So, if I could have changed something, I could have gotten a Warden, and that would have actually been much more effective than what a Keeper of the Grove is capable of doing. Because there's not too many crazy things this Keeper can do, especially later on to the game when they got some Destroyers. All it does is make this Keeper a useless hero. So, I'm just going to start hitting that Acklay. I see those ghouls start to run, so I'm thinking, alright, he's got a Dreadlord on him soon, so we might as well just kind of stay out of the way. So I decide to entangle one of the ghouls, because we don't want to get that far in there, of course. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that, yeah, that's a Dreadlord. We're going to get the hell out of there. But I'm talking to, you're not going to see me and WCF talk that much. You're going to see some pings on the map and whatnot, but we are talking on Ventrilo, and it's actually the Ventrilo server. If you want to join us in on Ventrilo, and we've got it, and you want to use it to chat with some Warcraft 3 players, use it, and the info of it is on my profile. Actually, you can get it. So we're just trying to do as much as we can. I mean, harassing undead, you got a brief 10-second, 15-second window when you can do whatever you want to their base. And that's a good thing. That's pretty good. We were expecting some fiends, actually, when I checked out Butt's base. So, that's kind of a surprise. We're seeing dual ghouls from all of them, so we know that they're going for an annoying-ass hero surround and all that stuff. And knowing that they have a bunch of ghouls, I'm starting to make some moonwells close to my Tree of Life, so it's kind of hard for them to walk through that. It's going to be like a grid of all these things. It makes it a little harder for my wisps to actually reach the Tree of Life, I realize, because, I mean, you're going to see, I think, about 6 Tree of Lives die in this game. There are going to be lots. So, we see them town portal, and we're very, very surprised that they town portaled this early into the game. And the only thing that we could imagine their town portal so urgently is if either they're in the middle of creeps, or they're just about to get some creeps that were very important. Only possible thing at this point in the game that would be that important would, of course, be their expansion. So we're going to check over there, we're going to check out his expansion, and had we attacked about 5 seconds later, Butt would have already been up into his creeping, and we would have gotten much better results out of that. But we decided to go ahead and kill that Acolyte, but the Acolyte nails those creeps. So we're just going to get out of the way there. Because we know if we stick there, and obviously if we stick there and creep it, we're going to get creepjacked. That is sort of their point. So, just going to kind of back away, make sure that the creeps really aren't pissing us off. And we're going to just try to make sure that, I mean, once we see something fall asleep, we just start surrounding it with our own units. So I do that with WCR's Farseer. So the FS is trying to get out of the way there, but he can't wedge through my Huntresses. He had a brief moment where he could have run through them. So I'm going to try to do the same with my Keeper. It doesn't really look like I'm going to succeed too greatly with it. So I'm just going to say fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and kill a couple ghouls and get my ass out of there. Because I know, I mean, I have plenty of gold right now. And this is actually when I start to get my upgrades and start to move on to archers. And so, with that, we should have gotten an expansion sometime earlier in this game, but I don't know. They use his sacrificial skulls. He's gonna get an expo prepared, and WCF is gonna go pick up a panda. Awesome hero choice. That is so damn cool. Because he's gonna get level 6 in this game. I think he actually gets to use his ultimate once. I mean, I haven't seen that ultimate used in so long. Last time I've used, the only time I've used his ultimate was when I was playing like friggin' Wardraft or something like that. So it's pretty cool. You actually get to see that used, and you actually get to see, this is a first, guys, you actually get to see the Nagasi Witch's ultimate used in this game. Believe it or not, it happens. So, that's awesome. And another thing to tell you guys how long this game is going to be, that Dreadlord of his, it's going to be level 10. Level 10. What level are we on right now? Oh, we're on level 2. Yeah, this is going to be a long game, guys. So, we have our beginning strategy. What always we'll usually start with, hunts and grunts. I mean, I can try archers, but especially against dual undead, because I mean, if Butt makes a commentary, you know he's just going to be like, I wonder what Cecil gets. Oh, he's going to get Huntresses. Yeah, you know, that's vaguely what he sounds like, actually. I don't really have too big of an option at this point. If I get archers, they've got Unholy Aura, they've got ghouls. They run behind the lines and start bitch slapping the archers. If I fast tech, well, if you fast tech into 2s, that's basically bending over and, you know, asking for it. So it's pretty much all I could get at this moment in the game. But once we have a pretty good established front line, then we can start making a good switch, which is what we're doing right now. We're getting that. And so we're just basically just going to try to milk out their town portal, kind of disrupt them a bit. And we're well aware that once we start putting the attack on them, they're going to start trying to put some method of pressure on us as well. So we're going to get some creeps in kind of a mid part of the map. We're not going to try to stay around and try to mess up Vivid's base. So we're just going to kind of scatter them about a bit. Okay. Creeping. What are they doing? They're creeping. He's also getting the Goblin Zeppelin. As you're gonna see them. Well, they're in love with that Zeppelin. They're gonna use that a long time. So they're actually gonna start nailing these creeps at the corner of their base. Very good move. Makes it very hard for us to reach them, although right now we do have Bat Riders. If we would have discovered this a little earlier, this game wouldn't have lasted longer. But at the end, I'll let you guys know, like, certain factors that determine the outcome of this. And you guys can kind of think about it, and I'll show you guys what follows behind what. So his Death Knight's out there a bit, so we're definitely going to make sure that thing will die, and fast. So he's managed to slow it down. Death Knight's dead. We're thinking, awesome, kick ass. We managed to do that. So we're just going to go right back to Vivid, deal some damage to that slaughterhouse. WCF is actually going to start researching his burning oil. Not burning oil. I forgot the name of the upgrade that the bats get. Brain fart. I'm sorry. But we're going to ping back there. We're going to check that. We definitely don't want them to start to get an expansion up there. We're not too concerned of them having an expansion above my base or below Vivid's base. Because both of those are kind of moderate zones. It's kind of in between. I mean, there's, especially on this map, there's safe zones that you got to, think about. Their safe zone is obviously where they've, where what you're about to expanding at the moment. But also, where their gold mine is that they use their sacrificial skull to. I mean, it's kind of in between their bases. There's not too much of crazy stuff that we can do. And yes, that is Thorn's aura that I'm actually getting. They had a assload of ghouls, and I understood that just later on to the game, treants are just going to become food for the for those destroyers. But I do decide, however, to get some druids as a talon, because I know that they'll last for a little bit in this point in the game. I'll be able to succeed, and I'll be able to manage to get some good fairy fires on their units. So WCF is going to go ahead and town portal in there. I'll put the autocast on my Moonwell, so any wisp that he tries to hit will be taken care of while I can focus down on Vivid's base. So with WCF close to my base, and me blocking Vivid's way into WCF's base, we're content as it is. He does send a gargoyle to scout out at the expansion just to kind of make sure that we're not doing anything crazy over there. And I should have checked the items on the Dreadlord as he came into the base. Noticing that he had his Scroll of Restoration, there's only one part in this map that you can actually get a scroll like that. And that's, of course, where those, at the corner of the map, so if we would have known that a little earlier and taken some time to check it out, we would have made this a lot easier on ourselves. Coming in there and just use Bat Riders and just blow the living hell out of his haunted gold mine. There's nothing he could do. If he's going to send some gargoyles, alright, that's cute. He'll use unstable concoction, and they're just going to get blown the hell out of. Because right now we have plenty of bats running around. We're just in great shape with the whole bat thing, I guess you can say. So I decide I'm just going to get some creeping done. WCF, he's going to stay close to my base, because we realize that we don't really need two people to get this creeping done. And with WCF rather close to my base, that's a pretty good thing, because right now White Your Butt's kind of sending his guys over there, and we're kind of worrying about that. Kinda, sorta. So anyways, Zeppelin comes in there. First thing I do is I cast Fairy Fire on that son of a bitch. When Zeppelin goes down like that, you definitely want to make sure where that thing is going. But I managed to hit that down there. White Your Butt is obviously angry. So angry he can't even spell Luckers right. He makes a lot of misspellings in this game, believe me. So It's time for my Tree of Ages to get the heck out of the game. Tree's out. Double ghouls really isn't going to do such a great thing. Couldn't really put a great stop to that. I mean, the best stop I could put to it, I could take out all my wisps, surround that tree so they'd have to get through a few wisps, but those would die rather quickly. I'd lose a lot of wisps, but I don't know if the tree would still be up or not, depending on how much they want it. They'd have to take some shots from WCF. But right now we're just going to decide to put some focus around here. Now we've got Vivid. He's going to go ahead and attack WCF's base. And so close to getting that Dreadlord, but not quite. It sucks. So they're beefing up their base with some defense. Rather hard for us to get in there. We do, however, have Bat Riders. I mean, all we have to do is just use oil, and they attack 75% slower. So to render them useless. So WCF's going to portal, and they're going to take out a lot of Vivid's junk. Well, I'm just going to stand out there. I'm just going to make my guys, like my archers, my back line here, just try to take a bit out of that crypt that they got until I see them portal. I mean, they really don't have to worry about buying all these portals. They do have some extra money floating around. They can get some portals. We, however, do not. And it's at this point in the game where WCF says that it's best that he tries to get an expo right now. So as I'm trying to run out of the way, I make sure that I cast Fairy Fire on however many ghouls that I can. It makes it a little easier on me so I can kind of check out where Vivid's heading. But right now, Butt's base is rather hard to get. There's nothing that we can really reach in there. Everything they got is beefed up on defense, so they're just going to sit back there, use a bunch of spirit towers. Really doesn't take too great of an effort to try that out. So we're just going to continue on taking out as much as we can, as long as it's in the back line. My guys run up there a bit, so I just kind of drag them back. I should have held position. So, once WCF kind of comes in there, it's a little interesting. Vivid's going to go ahead and portal to his base. But he does have ghouls that are fairy fired, so we definitely know what's going on there. And as we're attacking them, they're attacking us as well. They're sending in that meat wagon drop. And there's only really one of us that should be portaling in there. So he's just going to start massively repairing. First thing I want to take out is that damn Zeppelin, so we actually get to destroy all those meat wagons. And you're going to see us later on, we individually put a Bat Rider in each of our bases. And so that will kind of prevent their Gargs mainly, not really taking out that Zeppelin too much. You'll need two to destroy a Zeppelin. Because they've got 525 health. They don't have 500 health. They've got to just go at 525. So that kind of sucks. Anyhow, just going to start working on that Death Knight as he's trying to get out of the way. Once again, all that it really is at this point is it's divided into two one-on-ones. That's all it is. And we're just making sure that they're not getting any expos, but they've obviously got one going on at the corner right there. So this is when I start to check out Butt's stuff here. I managed to chop away at a ton of ghouls here too. So as he surrounds, I do use a Potion of Invulnerability, get my ass out of the way. We're stuck in a 2-on-1 at this moment, so definitely going to run out of the way from that one. So I use Potion of Invulnerability, get out of the way, not after killing his Death Knight first though. He will get my Naga, but my Naga's got some time to get out of there a bit. But with my second force group, I managed to take out Vivid's Death Knight, and with my first force group, I knew that he's putting all of his micro into killing that Keeper, and so the second force group basically got out of his focus for a little bit. But I'm making sure that this Keeper is healed first. And WCF actually, I told him to kind of stay back a little bit, because we were still in that defensive mindset for a while. And he could have gotten a little bit of damage going on. I mean, they would obviously, run like hell out of the way once they see WCF come in there. So, but we would have gotten a little bit of damage going on there. That would have been good. We should have done that. But it's not too crazy of a difference. So, just make sure my guys are healed up. I'm starting to just continue to produce. I got a steady force group going on even after that 2 versus 1. So I knew that that battle right there took a big chunk out of them. They're not really going to be sticking with their overall plan for a little bit, because I mean there is that period of recovery that they got to go through. Get their guys situated again. But What You're a Butt is obviously going to get his guys back over to my base. Doesn't quite have a lot to run that great of a raid on me. I just make sure that I start taking out those obsidian statues for a little bit. Some ghouls kind of standing on the outside. I just start picking away at a few things. So he's going to start working away at that tree. I'm going to get my ass over there to repair it. I wish you'd just stand on there. And he's getting out of the way. He kind of just wastes his money and wastes a few units on doing that. He's like, yeah, I'm going to run over there. I'm going to lose everything. Oh, okay, I'll get the hell out of the way. Doesn't really do too much. So, once again, attacking WCF's fortress here. He's making a lovely thing here. He's also got the Staff of Teleportation. Awesome tool for Vivid's Death Knight. Vivid was pretty good at doing that. You're going to see him make a lot of great use with that staff, and it just puts in such a great thing here. So that's one thing I got to hand to Vivid. He's pretty damn awesome with that Staff of Teleportation. It makes some pretty good harasses. You know what I mean. But we did manage to take out a lot from Vivid right there. So we're at this point we really got the advantage in this game, and this is going to start to lead to how the game will last and why it's going to last so damn long. So we did know that What You're a Butt did have that Zeppelin over there, so I'm going to go ahead and try to check it out with that Bat Rider. Try to blow it up. Hopefully it's up there, kind of hiding over there waiting to drop a bunch of meat wagons into my base. So if I would have brought that Bat Rider out a little bit, I would have noticed that Zeppelin and I would have taken that out. Now it doesn't have 525, 575 I mean. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. So we're going to go ahead, and we have Bat Riders. I mean, we can slow their defenses down. We'll have a good amount of siege. And so we're at this mindset in the game is, if we just keep playing the way we do, there's not really too great of a chance that they'll do so great. But they do have a big army on them. And, excuse me, Vivid's starting to work on his expo as well. And I'm actually going to try to get my expo there too. So we have a Bat Rider. 25 health it's got. 25 frickin' health points, and that's what does it. So we're just going to blow that guy up there. Yeah, they're going to have a bunch of meat wagons over there. But 4 meat wagons, it's enough to where I can't repair that Tree of Life in time. Even if I bring out all my shit and try to repair it, there's not really too much that I can do. So, that's amazing. I lose my Tree of Life. But like I said, you're going to see a lot of Tree of Lives kick the bucket in this game. It's going to be fun, I tell you. So, as what you're about goes into there, Vivid just go ahead and chases in the WCF space. But I make sure his Death Knight doesn't have a portal, so that's pretty damn good. So I decide to go ahead and portal in there and try to snare that Death Knight as he's trying to get in on us, but can't quite. So I'm portaling. I ping there to let WCF know that as long as he's over there, I'll be fine, because obviously you see White Earbuds coming in there. And they're still doing the same crap that they've been doing the whole game. It's as if we're never going to catch on to it, so they're basically doing it over and over again. We're like, yeah, that's nice, we're killing your shit here. So, Vivid decides to check out if he's got an expansion, which he does. I mean, which WCF does, of course. Death Knight's going to go ahead and get his portal. He can't, I mean, he doesn't have to worry about it too much, except for the ghoul that he portaled to. Right now, I've got his Death Knight isolated from all of his ghouls. I'm just trying to surround him to make sure that he's not getting anywhere close. But he does portal, and he does run all of his ghouls over there. They're out of the way. But we managed to slow him down once again. Especially when Vivid was slow on the resources just for a little bit. Right now he's back into it with his expansion, which we do need to check. But they still have a rather good army. I mean, on both of their sides, they've got a lot to dish out still. But in a level playing battle, like to say a battle in the middle of the map, they're going to get the living crap beaten out of them. So they just got to make sure that they use it in the right way, which they have been doing. They've been using it in a pretty damn good way, actually. So we're just stacking our levels right now. We're just creeping. And Vivid and Butt, they decided how we're just going to sit in our bases. But nothing that, well, they're probably just talking their plans, as anybody would be. So Vivid's going to set out there. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to go ahead and try to attack WCF's expansion. While as for me, the items that I have right now, since obviously I'm in a little bit of a problem with my gold at the moment, the items that I have right now will later on just become gold as they are. I mean, Bell's giant strength. None of the heroes in this game are really going to need that so greatly. So it's not too crazy of a thing that I have that on the Naga Sea Witch. She's going to have a little bit more of health. That's cool. But normally a hero that's that far back in the line really won't need too much of health to really operate effectively. I mean, she's already pretty good as it is, so. But as I said, at this point in the game, what do you guys think? I mean, if I had a warden, I still would have had the hero. I mean, the hero kill and stuff like that. And later on, this warden would have obviously gotten a higher level, and I would have been able to also add in some Shadow Strike, and that would have made for some pretty good stuff. So what do you guys think? I could have gotten the warden. And after looking at this game, I have to admit, a warden would have done a lot better. So this is when we just discover Vivid's stuff here. We're very hesitant when we went ahead and attacked Vivid's expansion, but once we see him unsummoning all of his stuff, we realize that they're going to let it go, they're going to abandon his expansion, and not really do too much about it. But right now, Butt's going to go ahead and get his stuff over there, under Vivid's base. Picks up a stone token, pretty nice. But he's got a level 5 Dreadlord. I mean, he can just sleep on and off as much as he wants. But this is going to be one of the major points in the game, guys, that are going to really put its mark in this game. It's actually coming up a little bit, not right now. But oh, it's coming up. So they're going to start to portal in here. Vivid's coming in. He's just going to try to take out that Pender and Brewmaster as fast as possible. And I think he does. I mean, he's got enough for a coil. Panda's out, but Vivid loses all of his ghouls. And here's where the game really takes its toll. We get really stuck into this base and try to do as much as we can before Butt either walks in or portals in. Well, he portals in, and we've got a lot of our junk kind of stuck in here for a little bit. So I'm just going to try to ruin that Death Knight. We take out his Death Knight, but this is when he decides to pop out that Rock Golem. Not too crazy about that Rock Golem right there. I mean, WCF is still, he lost a lot of his units already to his defense, and right now he just got his Dreadlord to level 6. So, ouch, that hurts. So we get in too much, and it's basically the mindset that me and WCF are in, as I was talking about it before. After playing so defensively and kind of tossing around our crap to each other, just going on and not really accomplishing too much, you'll get impatient and you'll kind of run in there a little bit and you'll try to damage as much as you can. And that's what really, really hurt us at this point. But the game sure as hell isn't over. I mean, check out the review. It's not even half over yet, guys. It's not even anywhere close to being over. So, he knew where my base was, or my expansion. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to massively heal that. And at the same time, I mean, all of our stuff really kind of stands out at this point because we have so little. So we use that to the advantage because we know they're going to try to do stuff. And they do stuff. But I bring my Druid of the Talon up into its airborne form. Gargoyle kills it too quickly. That shucks. So, my expansion is pretty much out of this. But I think that's Tree of Life number 3 that's dying. So the Vivid's also got a little shade running around my base. Checking things out. Easy expansion. Checker, guy, person thing. Or whatever. Anyhow. Once the Naga Sea Witch is out there, I can actually get my expansion back again. I'm going to actually... Do I sell it now, or do I sell it a little later? I'm talking about my Pendant of Energy. Huh. I suppose I sell it later. So, What Your Butt's coming down into WCS base, and... it's a losing battle the WCF would fight. I mean, he does have that Infernal still hopping around there. I do get level 6 on my Keeper of the Grove. I do get Tranquility, because I will manage to heal probably about 60 health on all my units, and it'll force them to get a sleep into there, and it'll also kind of break them up a bit, and I'm hoping that with that, it'll give us a little bit of a window where we can deal a little bit more damage than we can normally do. So we just try to do as much as we can at this moment. I mean, creeping. I do have level 3 Frost Arrows, so that's really great news for us. So it'll no longer slow their unit. It'll basically stop their damn unit. They're not going anywhere. So we ping there. We're going to check there with his Bat Riders. And I'm selling my stuff. This is actually when I'm walking my Tree of Life this time. That would be Tree of Life number 4, due to die. Lucky ass WCF, he's got his, look at that, he's got his lovely Great Hall over there. He's not worrying one bit, it's stuck in between of everything. Actually, I say at this point in the game, it would be really, really cool if we would have crept the corner on my part, and we would have gotten some good expos over there. That, and also we would have gotten some really, really nice items that we could really use. But we're kind of engrossed in keeping our stuff over at centralized at this middle. And plus, like, this game, oh man, we started at like 1:45 in the morning, and we find them, and I remember after the game was over, I looked at the clock and it was like 3 in the morning, so that, I was just like, damn, that was a long ass game. So, all that we're trying to do at this point, obviously, we're trying to get rid of their expansions. I think it's obvious to know the reason why. But we need to, WCF needs to send his Bat Riders over and try to kill as much as he can. Vivid actually camps that shade over at the creep, so they're gonna know that we're gonna be over there. How about that? That sneaky little bastard. Level 3 on the Death Knight, though, as opposed to the level 7 Dreadlord. I mean, that Death Knight's not too great of a level because he's been dicking around too much. Oh, what else could you guys know? What else is so urgent to know? It's kind of obvious. I mean, I'd just be narrating the game. I have picked up a Robe of the Magi. Imagine that. The cooldown is fast as hell on the Keeper of the Grove, so I'm just going to use his ultimate right now. He'll just get slept anyways if he tries to use it out of battle. So how about that? We heal up a great deal of their units. Of our units. Yeah, that wouldn't be so great if Tranquility healed your enemy's units. Don't think I'd really want to play the game anymore. So, Tree of Life, number 4. He's coming up there. He's starting to get that expansion, the Entangled Gold Mine working. And that actually stands for quite some time. Actually, will stand for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try to I think this is the point when I go ahead and sell some items. Yeah, here we go. I finally sell that damn pendant. I thought I sold it earlier. Oh well. Excuse me. Okay, Vivid does know that we have the expansions, so alright, we're expecting a battle to happen over there sometime soon. So a battle's due to happen, and that Dreadlord can really deal some good damage. And the Bat Rider, though, if only I would have brought it in a little bit more, we would have seen that Zeppelin and we would have been able to crash that thing. But no, it doesn't happen. Doesn't that suck? So, we're just using that Bat Rider because we are planning on killing those creeps. We're using the Bat Rider just to kind of scout around, just to see if he's coming up anytime soon. Indeed he is. So, we're going to get our asses over to this expansion. And Unstable Concoction. Boom. Blows up a bunch of, well, hurts a gargoyle. Hurts some. Kills one. Kind of deals some spread out damage. So here they go again. Tree of Life number 4 to die. And I was contemplating whether or not it would be best to just let me harbor as many resources as possible and just let the Expo die. And I realized that would have been better because they would have just killed it anyways. He would have just camped his Infernal over there, and Immolation plus some good focus fire really wouldn't have done too great of a job. I only had 3 wisps. They would have died anyways, and then the expansion would have died. So, it's best that I would have just tried to get as many resources out of it as I can. Yawn. Sorry, I'm still kind of tired. Blah, blah, blah. So, we do have some extra defenses on WCF stuff, and with fortified armor, I mean, we could, now to think about it, I mean, we could really, and I mean really get a damn good tower rush in at this point in the game. I mean, they wouldn't run out there. I mean, if they run out there, they can't do jack shit against us. They would get the crap beaten out of them. They really couldn't do too great of a thing to defend against a tower rush. But it's at this point in the game when WCF is so low on his resources that he really can't do too much. But now that we think about it, a tower rush could have done a lot better of a job. Now that you think about it. So anyways, Infernal's coming in there. He's going to go ahead and take out that Tree of Life. Tree of Life number 5. Well, Tree of Life to be cancelled. And I realized, oh shit, I better make sure that these wisps will stay alive. Because I realized if they die, we're dead. I don't have any wisps that I could use to repair. So I managed to save 2 wisps, so I was a little scared at that moment. I was like, oh damn, this isn't cool. But alright, good. I managed to save a wisp. Kick ass. Awesome. So I was scared for a brief moment right there. Tree of Life number 5. That was a rather risky moment with Tree of Life number 5. Anyhow, Batrider's gonna go ahead and try to obviously kill Butt's mine here, but he does have those spirit towers. Those are bitches. What we're planning on doing here is send the Batriders in there, obviously, as you're seeing the whole line of Batriders, and we're going to go ahead and use them to individually attack, 4 Batriders, each 4 heading at all the spirit towers. That means there's going to be about 3 to go ahead and attack the central haunted gold mine. And the problem with that is that we both tried to control it. And we both had different unit commands on our stuff. And at the same time, we ultimately lose quite a few Batriders in this process. So we try to go ahead and send them out to individually attack each one. It's doing pretty damn good at this point. But we didn't issue the command all at once. We could have done a lot better at a job of doing that. So we're just going to try to run out of the way, and, Dreadlord comes in there. But once we saw that Dreadlord, we were like, shit, we got to go in there now. Once we saw that Carrion Swarm, we knew that he used his staff to get over there, and it's got a nasty cooldown, and we want to do a good job and waste their stuff. Especially at this point when their expansions are starting to dry out. But they're really into whoring out their defense. Their expansions are defending pretty good. And I need a little more gold to get some siege. Because at this point I was like, yeah, I definitely need siege. But you guys see Tornado! Holy shit! I did Tornado. That's crazy, guys. You don't understand how rare it is to see Tornado used in the game. Also, Scroll of Restoration, which what your bot just used. They're going to take out the Naga Sewage. Well, they're going to try to. And I was planning on it, so I'm just going to transfer the portal over there. Portal out of the way at 11 health. They're saying good game first. But it's definitely not a good game. Look at the replay speed. There's still much more to go. Yeah, that's why not many people really are too happy to deal with What You're a Butt. It's just that he's a prick. He's not really too, look at his name. What You're a Butt. I was talking to Downware about him, and I was telling Downware that this guy's just like perfect material for him to do something on, and I'm just waiting for it. I know that he's gonna try to come in there and make like a mystery audio, like what Downware used to do, and oh my god, it's gonna be funny as shit. You guys need to hear what this dude sounds like too. He sounds rather funny. Actually, fuck it, I'll do that later. So anyways, you're coming in there. He made a pretty good switch to the Fiends. Will really hurt us pretty well. I guess forcing me to get archers, but at this point he's got a level 5 Death Knight, so Alright, I'm gonna have to stick with some hunts. I mean, I really can't get any tier 2, because if I want to get to tier 2, that'll sap a lot of my resources, and I've already got a tree of life that's constantly being hit, so I'm really not planning on that anytime soon. So I'm just gonna try to get my ass out of the way there. Dreadlord's trying to deal as much damage as he can. So I managed to take out a fiend or two. But the expansion lives. This is not becoming Tree of Life number 6 yet. Yeah, so that you're gonna, like I said, there's a lot of Tree of Lives that die. Many Tree of Lives were harmed in the making of this replay. Sad to say it. Anyways, we're just obviously pinging there, saying, hey, it'd be a pretty good idea to keep our guys over at that location. Once we see that rather weak Infernal come in there, we're thinking, alright, it would be wise for us to go ahead and kill it. I mean, repair my expansion as it's being hit, but I had no resources to heal it up there. So yeah, this is going to be Tree of Life number 6. Tree of Life number 6. It's hard as hell for them to reach WCF. I mean, because we've got so much beefed up defense in his base, and they've already got a fortress, so we're not really going to see fortress number 5 or some crap like that. Nah, Tree of Lives are a lot easier to kill, as well as it's a lot easier for WCF to put up some defense. So, as a Night Elf player, you kind of get reamed with that. So, Tree of Life number 7 is under construction. How about that? And they're just going to come in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and cancel it. Well, not yet. Give that a little bit. Nah, he's not going to come in there yet. Like I said, we're just checking around this map. I mean, we do have the Shadow Wolves, and WCF, there's no real use for him to get Earthquake. He does have a level 6 Farseer, but it'd be a lot better to invest it in either his Chain Lightning or his Wolves, especially for the fact that at this point in the game they're invisible, and it'll also give us a tiny little bit of an edge against them. While he was doing that, we were attacking Vivid's Death Knight, entangling it, doing as much as we can. He does buy an invisibility potion, rarely bought, but he did buy it. Very swift move there. He was on the brink of dying. So the Death Knight's out of the way with only about 50 health. He bought that just in the nick of time, because that was just after I got a Forked Lightning in there. Just after I got a Forked. I was going to fork him. I was going to fork him good. So, we notice where their rallies are at, so here comes another major battle. But we got a hero advantage on them, obviously. But, I don't know, What Your Butt brings his guys in there, and apparently he wants to creep at the same time as fight a whole battle. So that's cute, he can do that. I entangle, then I use the Tranquility. It's healing a lot of units as it is. Especially, I mean, it's just really healing a lot of units, and it puts its really good use into that. And so I know that the Death Knight's going to try to gradually, in time, take out that Nagasuich. I mean, it is a level 5, so I'm just going to take the time as while there's no Death Knight around. Well, once I sell the coil, that is sort of reassurance that, yes, there is one out there. There is a coil left. Coil kills the Nagasuich as it tries to get her ass out of the way. Wand of Mana Sealing, I just steal the mana out of his Dreadlord so I can't get slept as I'm trying to run out of the way. Pendra and Brewmaster on the brink of becoming level 6. Boom, he's level 6. If he had the mana, if he only had the mana, he could use his ultimate, and that would be freaking awesome, because he's so low in health at this moment. That would be really freaking sweet if he could use his ultimate and just break out of that and just use all of his shit. That would be so damn fun. That would be awesome. If you had a little more mana, that would have done sweet. But both of us take a big hit, but there's, I mean, we can't really run into their base since they've hoarded up a bunch of defense, which is pretty much one of their smartest moves, because if they didn't, their bases would have been really leveled at this point, especially with our Bat Riders. But NewbieCF, his gold mine is out. NewbieCF, he's basically out all the way. I mean, I transfer him some gold to get his Farseer back, and that's about all you're going to see from NewbieCF. He does run that Infernal in there. What is this, Tree of Life number 6 or is it number 7? Crap, I lost count. I'm pretty sure one of you guys will have a comment in response to this when it gets posted up about the number of Tree of Lives. So if you guys could be kind, give me a count on how many Tree of Lives either canceled or killed. Canceled? If it's canceled, it counts. That'll count as a Tree of Life. So put in the canceled ones too, and then that'd be pretty good. So we noticed that they're coming in on us right now, so we realized, alright, we know that they're going to go ahead and try to get our expansion. And at this point in the game, if that Expo goes, that's pretty much our lifeline here. Once that Expo is out of there, it'll drain out too many resources for us to get back in there. So with the little forces that we have to try as hard as we can to make sure that expansion doesn't, leave the game. But I do sell a great deal of my items in order to get a little more resources, so I can just buy some units. And also, I think I was using that for... no, that's when I gave the gold to NewbieCF. Yep, that's when I give it to NewbieCF, so he gets his Farseer. And now we're on Tree of Life number 6 or 7. I lost count. I lost count to the Tree of Life count. Yeah, I don't think I can really do crap to really save that Expo. Most I can do, I should have taken out my Wisps at this point and detonated as much as I could. So I just do that a little late. And it'd be best if I did that to drain out the mana of the Death Knight and the Dreadlord. So he's, got to use his mana potion. But we're at the... Don't worry, it's almost over, guys. We're at the point where we've got the level 10 Dreadlord, as I've said. There will be a level 10 Dreadlord in this game. So I'm just going to go get some mana back on the Nagasiwitch. And actually, Tornado... It did a pretty good job. You're going to see it actually be a problem for them in a little bit. I was really surprised. I mean, I just got Tornado because I haven't seen Tornado ever in a ladder match. So I was like, fuck it, I want to see Tornado whether or not he's got sleep or not. And it really didn't make too great of a difference whether or not it was forked or not, because we already had enough area of effect. Splashes we had. And also, to have Tornado is some great insurance, the fact that it's almost a controllable earthquake. If you're at a distance, I tried to picture a battle going on in front of Butt's base where I would have a Tornado just running through his base, and when they portal in there, their units are going to be going slow as hell and all that stuff. So that was another thing I was trying to get at. I was trying to use that as an edge to actually deal a decent amount of damage to their base. Because you can actually... Farseer Earthquake, it's a lot easier to stop that than it is a Nagas Tornado. Because you can cast that Tornado from a pretty far distance. But we do ping to the map to suggest, hey, I don't know if we got any resources to do this or not, but we don't. Because it costs like 200 for a Zeppelin, and we don't really have too great of some forces. We do have enough to kill that dragon, but we don't have enough to really get an expansion. Our best bet would be to sell that potion of lesser invulnerability, kill some creeps, and hope to get an item that will sell a lot. And hope at the same time that Vivid Shade, he won't look at his shade and see what we're doing. And attack our expansion. And kill us. So yeah. What You're About is actually going to just go ahead and get his expansion behind WCF's base. So you got something going on behind his base. Another stone token and a replenishment potion. Pretty good drops for the, especially for that Death Knight to have. He's got good healing insurance, I guess you can say, on his guys. Whew. Yawn. Yeah. So we're basically just waiting it out at this point. Waiting for it to happen. Because now it's our turn to do the sitting. They're sitting for the rest of the, for the whole chunk of the game. Now it's our point to really wait for it to happen. Because they've got priority on the whole entire map, basically. So we're just going to send out some level 3 wolves to at least check out the map and do as much damage as we can to all the other guys. Vivid does scout out with the shade, and I think it's that since he didn't see that expansion with the shade, it let me keep that expo up for a little bit. For a while at least. Anyways. The fact that it's a long-ass game is just taking its toll on all of us. Long, like my feet. But yeah, once again, this is why not many people like What You're About too much. He's like, it's over, guys! Taking his fat fuck aggression out on us. Anywho, we're just making sure my Tree of Life is gonna stay alive. And maybe we're just gonna go ahead and send his wolves out there. Say hell if there's anything we can get. So, this is when he decides to go ahead and this is what You're About calls the shit talking point. He thinks it's just me that dislikes him. And I was just trying to, I mean, I hate to be the first person to tell him this and, you know, be the bearer of bad news to this poor kid, but the whole frickin' staff of WC Replays basically hates this guy's guts. So, and he doesn't understand, explain. I guess I can explain it right now. I mean, I don't really like using audios as ways to like, insult people. It's basically like throwing insults at a wall. The wall's not gonna respond to jack shit because he can't really respond right now. So I try to stay away from that. He doesn't. I mean, if you listen to this guy, he uses this as like an open way to make fun of people. But we're basically explaining the situation of why the staff really isn't too fond of him. Nagasi, which is under attack. I use her ultimate while she's invulnerable, and that actually is just mass cyclone basically, and it's actually doing a very good job. I mean, just keeping their Dreadlord up in the air so I can keep using Cyclone. It's not really gonna last too long since I'm just gonna lose the Naga in the first place. But it's at this point where it's basically over at this point. But you see the Panda's ultimate. That is so friggin' awesome. You see the Panda's ultimate and you saw the Naga's ultimate. That is definitely a replay that is definitely worth some time to commentate, since we will see some Panda and Naga ultimate action going on. But he doesn't understand why the staff doesn't like him. But at the same time, he uses that to throw an insult right at the site's main stat. Tell me how that... You know what, it's just easier to call him stupid. He doesn't even know how to spell douche correctly. So I ask him what's a geese, or whatever it is. That's actually how he probably pronounce it. This is what you're about. He's a douche. Anyways. Viv is just standing back there and he's like, God damn it, guys. So, pretty fun game though. Pretty damn good game actually. I guess this is the point where you guys can kind of think like, what do you think were the actual factors that it went into it? Was it that we didn't know that they had that we didn't check in time at their expansions and stuff? Jabba the Hutt. I actually owe Downware for that one. Downware threw that one out there. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. So I'll use Downware's stuff. Sure. So, was it either the expansion, or was it that one battle where we ran into their base and really hurt our stuff pretty bad? So, kind of take some time to think which one was the real big thing that was the biggest problem. I'll tell you at the end of this. The main factor, it was either as I was saying earlier, guys, it was either the expansion, like not knowing where not attacking their expansion in time, or was it the battle that, where me and Newbie just ran into their base and tried to deal as much damage as we could, and once he portaled in there, it really gave us a problem? It was actually the one in the base. The reason is, even though they had an expansion, they couldn't do shit throughout the whole entire game, but just stand back and put a bunch of defense in their base and run out there. That was, we were going to deal with that whether or not they had an expansion or not. I mean, if they didn't have an expansion, sure, that'd be a lot easier for us to hurt them a little bit. But whether or not they had an expansion or not, we had enough to kill them in an open field. So it was the battle that we ran into their base when we lost too many units to really recover from, since it was after that point we went on like Tree of Life 5 or stuff like that. I don't know how many Tree of Lives kicked the bucket in this game. It was either 7 or hell, maybe 8. I was actually talking to Downwar for a little bit after he's working on his final audio, and it's a very good audio for you guys to listen to. It's funny as shit. He said that he might do some dual audios in the future, and I've got a few replays that we can do that Downwar would love to see. So I don't know, guys. You might see in the future some dual audios with me and Downwar. How about that? So, and actually, for those of you who do check out the forums of the site, the moderator Epic Zero, that's the guy that. I know I'm gonna get something for saying this, but that's the guy that always vomits at these things. He actually couldn't attend a few because he was vomiting. But yeah, one time I kind of touched you up on this story since there's no time to reply on the forums. But we were at the food court out at the college, and Epic just gets up. Well, we don't really notice him getting up until we see him like hunched over at the corner of our eye, and you hear like the sound of how can I make an analogy to it? Have you ever like had a hose with water, and the water was landing on solid concrete? That sound that it makes sounded like that basically. So we heard that sound. We looked over there, and puke's coming out of the guy's nose and everything, and we were all just like staring at him. It's like, all right, we're done with lunch. And he almost made Fear to maybe puke his brains out too. That was the highlight. That was a highlight of all the lands, man. That was great. But that's what Epic Zero is famous for. He's famous for his vomiting. Vomit makes you famous, kids. Anyways, guys, I'll check you all out later.